Evening all. Hello. Welcome to Friday night as Organ Music Night. Sorry about the technical difficulties at the beginning there. We forgot to turn the audio back up again. I was doing something else with the organ this week and completely forgot about that, so I had to get Vanessa back. And yes, that was the little bundle of joy with her hand right at the beginning there, saying hello to everybody. And she's off to bed now. It's been a long day. I'll tell you about it shortly. It's the merry, merry month of May, which means we get to play lots of hymns to Mary, which is absolutely grand. That was one of my favourite ones. And, well, there's many, many favourite ones. Now, I'm going to play a piece of music here, and I'm going to dedicate it to our very good friend, Ralph. Ralph is the organist over in Gackenbach here, and Ralph is not well at the moment. Ralph is in hospital. And he should be back out in time for my concert in a couple of weeks' time. Yes, I'm playing a concert over in Gartshore on the 25th of May. If you're in the area, come and watch it. 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It's a Sunday afternoon. I'm not sure how much. I think tickets are $15 or something like that. Yes, that's what you pay for a normal concert. I think $15, and it's going to be a fun program. The concert is entitled The Organist Entertains. So there we are. That's Ralph with an F, by the way, everybody, in case you want to write. So let's dedicate a piece of music to him. I recorded this piece of music recently in Gartshore. I haven't posted it yet, but I will be getting around to it. But it's one of our favourite hymns, and it basically translates as, "What a wonderful world." Ha! Let's knock down a couple of decibels for the final chord there. That's not the sound card down there overloading. That's Hauptwerk itself overloading. Wow! Isn't that a great piece of music? I love that. It's one of my favourite hymns. It's actually Vanessa's favourite hymn as well. And I happen to know that Ralph loves it too. A grand piece of music. So there we go. There we go. Right. Now we're going to have some entertainment tonight. And we're going to start with a story. We're going to start with a story. It's been one of those weeks, folks. And once again, the Gartshore financial district has been used and abused by fraudsters. Now this time it's been rather interesting. This time we know who it is. Rather strangely and rather worryingly, I'm not going to name any names tonight because the person involved will have a chance to fess up, basically. A couple of days ago, I spotted a transaction in my private bank account that didn't belong to me. It was for rather a lot of money, and it was for a sample set for an organ. Piotr Grabowski's sample set. I wrote to Piotr and said, "Oi, I didn't order a sample set. Who's this?" I, of course, immediately cancelled the transaction from my end. Thanks to our European banking system, you can do that. So by the end of the day, the money was back in the account. That wasn't a problem. However, Piotr wrote back to me and said, "Yes, I thought it was rather strange. Somebody in America tried to buy a sample set using a German bank account." The alarm bells went flagging. So, we did some research. We have a name, we have an address, we have an email address, we have an IP address, and we even have an MAC address, a MAC address. We know who you are. We know who you are. So, you have until Monday, if you should be watching, you have until Monday to, well, first of all, to get in touch and tell me why you did it. Obviously to apologize and promise you will never do it again, or the whole thing will be handed over to the FBI. Now, the whole thing has been gathered together as a case file. It is already in the hands of the FBI, but they are waiting for my green light to go ahead and press charges. So it's up to you. If you want to get in touch and let me know why on earth you did it, then we can have a talk about it. We can have a think about it. I'm not a bad person. I'm a very nice person. If I don't hear from you by Monday, the whole thing goes to the FBI, and good luck is the only thing I can say to that. Fraud, what's it called? Cyber criminality. I think that's what it's called these days. What amuses me in this case is that the person is so stupid to think that they can actually, get away with it. They know all of the people involved. This is the worrying thing about it. And surely they know they're going to get caught. Don Prince, press charges. Yes, I will if I don't hear from them until Monday. They have a chance. Like I say, the whole thing is already with the FBI. The FBI has confirmed everything as well. It's wonderful. Have you ever worked with the FBI before? They are amazing. They've confirmed everything. Thanks to Piotr Grabowski and my research, we worked out absolutely everything. We put all the dots together and filled in the whole picture. Sent the whole thing to the FBI with screenshots and all the rest of it. And they were very impressed with our detective work. That makes their life very easy. So, you have until Monday. The usual email address applies. Put the email address up in the chat again, please, so that the person knows. If you don't answer by Monday, then I suggest you leave the country. Don't mess with me. Quite simple. Right, there we are. So I thought I'd mention that. I'll say this again on Sunday, just in case the person isn't watching tonight and decides to watch again on Sunday. It's a very childish thing to do. Interestingly enough, the person involved... No, I'm not going to say any more than that. You have until Monday, and then... if you don't happen, then God help you. Simple as that. Right, on with the show. On with the show. Let's have some, shall we have some entertainment? Let's have some entertainment. I think you know what this piece of music is. You've heard it many times before. Entertainer by Scotty Joplin, all the way back to 1902, an awfully long time ago. Wonderful piece of music. You can play around with it. It's all copyright free these days, public domain and all that. Good fun, good fun, good fun. The organ we're using tonight, by the way, is Düren. We haven't been in Düren for a long time. Why haven't we been in Düren for a long time? Well, there's a reason we're in Düren tonight. If anyone knows what the reason might be, then let me know. Let me know. It's a rather cute instrument. Let me show you it. I think that's the one. There you are. It's a very modern, well, it's probably quite an ugly church by the looks of it. I don't mean that in a nasty way, but it's one of those sort of modern, dark, sort of gloomy looking places. Check out the concrete ceiling there and the bare stone walls and things like that. Yeah, but they've got this amazing symmetrical organ here, Swiss organ. It's Metzler, isn't it? A Swiss organ here. Absolutely wonderful, and it makes the most wonderful, dreamy sound. The console of the organ, well, this is the Hauptwerk representation of it. I don't use this view, I use this view, it just lists out the stops. But I suppose if you have it here, it tells you what all the stops are. This is a Metzler organ, so it's very easily, very well laid out. For example, here is the great chorus. Get the idea? All in a nice little row, right beside the organist's left hand, basically. So while you're doing that kind of stuff, you could be reaching out with your left hand and getting some other stops. The best stop in the organ is, of course, this one here. Tain't a tuba, it's a chamade. Yes, yes, yes. Now you can't read that, but it says Metzler there, and there's a date. 2000, I think it says. It's almost impossible to read. There's no details on it there. It's a wonderful instrument. Why am I telling you about a Metzler instrument? Well, I got to play a real Metzler instrument not that long ago. And it had a chamade too, and it was rather amazing. There's a video coming very soon all about that. What a wonderful instrument. Will I ever visit Ermelo again, asks Forschungsurlaub. Forschungsurlaub is, of course, somebody we know very well, but I'm going to remain silent to who it really is. And we haven't been in Ermelo for an awfully long time, you're right. Yeah, we might go there one of these days. That would be a nice idea, wouldn't it? Yeah. Strange church architecture, but a good organ, says Matt Leach. Yes, you're quite right. Oh, by the way, we are a little technically short this evening. The iMac, for some reason, wouldn't start up properly, which is weird. So I have to go in and dig around with that and see what that is, because it's normally running the graphic thing that comes up on screen when I can show graphics from there. And the overhead camera, that's my own fault. I forgot to charge the battery. I'm stupid. So that's that. And of course, because it has such a short, what do you call it, lead, I only ever use the battery there. Yes, the battery does last for 2 hours. Just about. So that's that. That was the entertainer. Yes, right. I like Matt's comment. I would have loved to put that up on screen there. Internet scammers are everywhere, but we organists remain calm and give them the 32 foot. Yes, that's quite right. If I catch this person live, ever, he will get a size 43 boot up his backside. I say he, that's giving the game away, but you know what I mean. I'm just being generalizing. It is a young guy. Anyway, right, never mind. On with the show. I see there's a couple of requests have arrived. People are telling me this as well. Now, we're going to do hymns on Sunday, all right? So if you're requesting hymns, we'll do that all on Sunday. Tonight we're doing other sort of stuff. Oh, by the way, this is the old microphone. Last week, one of my new microphones, they've been sent back to be repaired, by the way, making funny noises. Apparently they made funny noises, so this is one of the old ones again. This is the one that does work. The one that doesn't work is, I'm not even sure I still have it. The one that doesn't work, I don't know. I have to have a look. So good job we kept the old stuff, eh? Right, now here's a fun piece of music. All right, let's have that in a second. I have no idea what this is. I really don't know what that is, but we'll have a look in a minute. So yes, if you found any hymn stuffs, and then it'll be coming in on Sunday. So let me just mark that. Bridget, for example, you requested a hymn. I'll do that on Sunday. Now Liam has requested something and has not included a PDF of it. I don't have the sheet music for it, unfortunately, but I know it does exist somewhere. All right then. Well, Google is your friend there. Type in the title and put PDF behind it, and you normally can find pretty much anything you want, ever. So check it out, check it out. If you can find it, send it over. Otherwise I'll send it over to my research department, and they'll send you a bill. Simple as nice, simple as that. Right, did we play that recently? Yes, we did play that recently. Okay. We had a couple of requests for ragtime music, and I've played any works by Anton Bruckner ready. And then you show us a picture of Bach. No, is the answer to both of those. Mixture 4 stuck open. Really? Good for you. Yeah, we've had 2 requests for other ragtime music. So shall I play it? Yeah, why not? Let's just play it. This is a request that came in, a piece of music I play regularly. I love playing it, and I will be playing this in I will be playing in research department. I was being sarcastic, was that? The research department is normally me half an hour before the show. Unless, of course, it was last week where I was too late, so we got you involved. You were the research department last week, and thank you again for that and editing the music for me. Right, the piece of music in question. Actually, it's quite good. This is. I'll dedicate this to our criminal, our internet fraudster. I'll dedicate this to you. It's called the Temptation Rag, and yes, as it says in a certain prayer we speak rather regularly in church. Don't be fooled by temptation; it will come and bite you in the butt. So yes, check this out. I started that in the wrong key. What key should it be in? Hold on. Ah, see? This is what happens when you have a week of awkwardness. What key should it be in? Bugger. What key should it be in? Middle bit. That's the middle bit. So the first bit is... That's it. Found the key. Right, it's in C minor, not an F minor. Bloody hell. Ha! I love that piece. It's always a great fun one to play. It's just, I don't know, there's something, once you've worked out what bloody key you're supposed to play in, it works. It lies under the fingers very, very nicely. That middle bit that everyone thinks is really rather tricky is the easiest part of the whole piece. Tiddle, 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 tiddle. It's just a C minor scale. Quite easy stuff. The other part everybody loves is my little improvisation. It's not, it's actually stolen from Sydney Torch. The first iteration of it goes. Which is just chromatic scales in sixths. Not difficult to do, but in the repeat at the end, you've got the so instead of tiddle 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 and so on, I go. It's all easy peasy. It looks difficult, it sounds difficult, but it's 3 fingers. Cam, that's one for you. And then that beautiful acoustic at the end. This is a Grabowski organ too, believe it or not. And Piotr uses some very nice microphones to capture that big, enveloping, fat bottom end. If you're listening on headphones, which I suggest you are, go and listen on headphones. What I would suggest you do, or get really good speakers and sit quite close to them. What you will find, if you close your eyes, you will hear the sound, the bass sound, that bass, you will hear it sort of reverberating around the church. Check this out. I love that hammer. Get it? Did you feel it coming back at you? Did you get that? I love that. If you play it just long enough, there's that little sort of room as it comes back at you. I love that. That is the beauty of a good sample set. Now, so on the subject of sample sets, yes, I know, I promised it for Christmas and it's almost summer. I've incredibly underestimated how difficult it is to make a good sample set. That emphasis on the word good. I do not want to pump out a sample set. I don't want my first sample set to just be pumped out quickly. I want it to be perfect. I want it to be released and then I want people to enjoy it from the beginning. What I don't want is that 5 weeks later I have to do a completely different version of it because I rushed the first one. Yeah, that's just stupidity. I want to get it right first time. Simple as that. I want to get, yeah, exactly, Don. I didn't say which Christmas. You're right. Well done, Don. Thank you. The difficult bit is getting the samples cleaned up and still sounding natural. I think I've got it now. Okay, now as soon as I've got it, then it's the simple part of chopping those samples out and putting them, it's like putting the pipes in the chests in the organ. You've got to put all those audio files, all those chopped up audio files in the right place within the program Hauptwerk. And the rest of it just sort of takes care of itself kind of thing. It's incredibly time consuming. And I think I have cracked it, finally. The good thing is, from moving forwards, second organ, which is actually about to be recorded, third and fourth, probably recorded this year as well. And then next year we're going to do the 5th, the 6th and the 7th, we'll get them recorded. Now, whether we get all of them finished in the next couple of years to be released is a different question. But as long as I have the recordings, I can be working on them. It's very exciting stuff. Very, very exciting stuff indeed. And yeah, it won't be too much longer now, all right? It won't be too much longer now, but we're getting there, okay? We're getting there. Don't get the E sharps and F flats mixed up. Hardy ha ha. Yeah, I didn't cut any corners, which makes it a little more difficult. One of the things I've now realized is that certain sample set producers, I'm not going to name any of them, but they cut corners. They cut corners. They don't record every single note in every single octave of every single rank of pipes. They maybe record 1, 2, 3, maybe record 4 per octave and sort of extrapolate the sound to get the rest of them, okay? There's nothing necessarily wrong in doing that, but it's not 100% original, if you know what I mean. I'm not doing that. I have recorded absolutely every single pipe, individual pipe. Apart from the mixtures, you can't do it individually. But you know what I mean. And yeah, it's incredibly time consuming, but it's very rewarding. Believe me, it's very, very rewarding. I'm not going to play the other ragtime request I had because we only played it last week or maybe a couple of weeks ago. But what I am going to play is a piece of music that came in. That's cheating, says Robert. Yeah, you're right. We don't cheat. Some people do. And oh, if they don't answer me by Monday. Anyway, right, you know what to do. Right. Here's a piece of music that was requested. Actually, we should do this one. That's the noise that person is going to make when the cell door closes on them. Anyway, right. Cinema organ effect. Door closing. Get it? Especially in a prison where there's a big acoustic. You can't hear them scream at night. Anyway, right, on with the show. On with the show. Yellowbird has come up with one of his requests. I don't know how he does it. He finds these amazing pieces of music that everybody has forgotten. And I'm guessing there's a reason that a lot of them should have been forgotten, but maybe not this one. Let's see. This was written by Charlie Tobias, Nat Simon, and Harry Tobias. I haven't heard of any of them. It was written in, oh my God, 1942. 1942, MCMXL, that's 1940, yes, 1942. It was written in 1942, and it's called Wait For Me, Mary. It does sound like Down by the Riverside, doesn't it? Wait for me, Mary, till the world will smile again, till a smile's in style again, and a dream's worthwhile again. Who wrote the words to this? Wait for me, Mary, by the moonlit garden gate, where my heart and I would wait for you. There are so many things I want to tell you, little words that I've never told before. Bugger off. And I hope that it won't be hard to sell you all the dreams I have in store. Oof, oof. So wait for me, Mary, till the world will sing again, till I bring my love again to you. What a load of old rubbish. But good, what a cute tune though, isn't it? These tunes are just, the words of them are hilariously wonderful. And Mr. Yellowbird, I don't mean this in a sarcastic and nasty way at all. Keep them coming. I love it. The worse they are, the better they are. You've sent me some real crackers over the years, and yeah, we need more of them. Right, who's in the old chit-chat tonight? Let's say hello to some folks. Hello, folks. Hello, folks. I did a little sort of tin megaphone for that, don't I? Right, let's go back to, well, we're talking about the Goon shows. Let's start with Tim down in Australia. Tim, you like the Goon show, don't you? Tim is here. Alexander Wunderlich is here. Good evening to you, my friend. Julian GC is here from Shreveport, Louisiana. Robert Varner is here from almost the opposite end of the country, New Jersey. Bridget is here. Bridget, you're from down south as well, aren't you? Andrew Prince is here. Hello. You're talking about haddock. I'm not sure why you would be talking about that. Maximilian, which piece was this? That's a good question. I don't know because I went back. Oh, someone else answered. Well done. Thank you very much. Right. Ian Lavery is here. Ian, hi. How are you doing? Cough. That's not C-O-U-G-H. That's C-O-F-F. That's what people in Dingwall say to each other. Anyway, Liam is here. Hi, Liam. Captain R. Trevithick, and thank you very much, Captain R. Trevithick, for your money going into my private account this week, not removing it for me. Thank you very much indeed to you for that. Matt Leach is here, Pierre Tjernström is here, Don Prince is here. Press charges these people won't learn. You're quite right, Don, which is why I will be doing so if I don't hear. Anyway, right. Who else is here? Ursa is here. Hello, of course you're here. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Forschungsurlaub is here. We know who you are. Ian Walker is here. BM is here. Hello, BM. Do we know who BM is? Ivy. Hi, Ivy. Cam. Hello, brother Cam. How are you doing? Spielregal number 16 is here as well. Hello. A Spielregal 16 is a 16-foot reed that sounds like a goat is having a small lavatorial problem. We'll come to that later. Mike King is here. Ticket bought. Right, I'll check that out in a second. Thank you very much. Who else is here? There must be some more people. Domagoj Marjanovic is here. Good evening to you, good sir. How are you doing? Lovely to see you back again. I hope my email got through. Hope you got that. Ian Walker. Send a man with a bill. Failing that, a duck with a hat on. Da, 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 da. The old ones are the best. Lucian Goodson is here. D flat. Oh, he's the yellow man from Texas. No, I must stop doing that. Wouldn't it be terrible if Lucian came down with a sort of a liver condition one day and he was the yellow man from Texas? Wouldn't that be terrible? Anyway, stop it, Fraser, stop it. Who else? Is that it? Must have been. Ralphie Schumacher is here. Hello, Ralph Schumacher. You've added a Y to your name so we don't confuse you with Michael's brother. I think that's what that's all about, isn't it? Peter Rasmussen is here. Good evening to you. Lovely to see you again. Who else be here? DT Media. Hello. Good. It can still get very close to the original. The overall sound is very high quality. Oh, you're talking about sampling? Yes, yes, definitely. I want it to sound exactly like the original. That's the whole point. Matt Leach, I still want Notre Dame to be sampled. So do we all, but it won't ever happen. Yellowbird, sang by Gracie Fields. Ah, well, that's it then. The 8th and 9th of May, 1945. We all know what that's all about. Splendid, splendid. Who else is here? Darius SZ from Poland. Hello, Darius. That's lovely that you're here. David is here. David T from Romania is here. John is here from somewhere over the rainbow. John, you sent me your request for your music. I'm looking for the music. I'll get it for Sunday, all right? I promise. It's John's birthday today. Right, we have to have a happy birthday to John then, don't we? Martin, moin Martin. Kamikaze 9182, hello to you. Unser Leben in Ungarn, our life in Hungary. Uwe over there. Who else is there? Trying to sample Saint Eustache, any French organ requires permission by the government, unfortunately. That's the big problem over there. We have a birthday, it's John's birthday. John, tell us more about yourself. We need some details for your birthday. Let's have a go. There we are, a quick happy birthday to our friend John. Now I'm looking actually for a piece of music and that would work for you, but I can't find it. Damn it, I thought I had it here. I thought I had it here, so maybe I have it here. Hold on, maybe, you never know. Damn it, I don't. Right, I'm going to find it. I'm going to find it. This is how quickly we can find a piece of music. Right, what you do is you do that, you do this, and you do... Am I logged in? Oh, go away, bugger off. No, I'm not logged in. Right, so let's just quickly log in. Muse score often have these things. Hold on. That's what we're looking for. Oh God, we're definitely not looking for that. Let's have it this one then. Download, PDF, full score. Download it. No, it's, oh, they've changed something. There it is. Downloads. Oh, for heaven's sake. Downloads added on. Hey, where's my... Hey, where did it go? Where did it go? Oh, for heaven's sake. Why didn't it save it in my downloads folder? That would be the most sensible place for it, wouldn't it? There it is. Sorry. And then suddenly it should appear here. Let me just quickly restart this, because sometimes it needs to be restarted to do its thing. Clickety pop, and there it is. Right, well, our friend John is from, where did you write? He's watching from, he said it there somewhere, Buffalo, New York. That's up near the Niagara Falls, if you don't know. And there's a wonderful piece of music. Shuffle Off to Buffalo, and it sounds something like this. Harry Warren wrote this, if I remember rightly. It doesn't tell me this in my piece of music here. Oh, we don't have any chords, I'll have to make them up. Shuffle Off to Buffalo, dedicated to John on his birthday. Shuffle Off to Buffalo. There you are. I've been to Buffalo, believe it or not. Hundreds of years ago, I went to visit Buffalo when I was up at the Niagara Falls. I actually wanted to go to North Tonawanda. Why would I want to go to North Tonawanda? That would have been the home of the Wurlitzer factory, where Wurlitzer organs were made. And that's right up there, close to Niagara Falls, close to the Canadian border, it's a wonderful part of the world, beautiful part of the world. If you haven't been there, go. It's wonderful. So yes, congratulations, John. Lovely part of the world. Nice. Right, let's have a quick check and see what's been going on over in... Mike King has bought a ticket, so let's see who else has bought a ticket. Can you play B minor to E flat? Yes. Next question. Sorry. Thank you to the following for tickets so far this evening. It's not too late. Stefan, thank you, Stefan. Stefan, quick off the ball this evening. Stefan is often the first to buy one. Thank you very much indeed. Lucian from Texas. I will not put... Oh, that's Lucian. Hold on. Hey, I just clicked that. Oh, that's why. There's Mike. Thank you very much, Mike, Who's this? This is Christian. Thank you very much, Christian. And over here we have a number of people lumped together. Who's this? Alexander, thank you. Ian, thank you. Jerry, thank you. Willie Galloway, thank you. And Joe Humans, thank you very much indeed. Right, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's you all lumped together. Thank you very much indeed. That's very kind indeed. Right, let's just go and quickly check over here. Oh, there's been something on the Stripe department as well. What's this? Let's have a look. Over on the Stripe department, we have had Jeff F. That's the Spanish Jeff. Jeff F. Thank you very much, Jeff. That's very kind. And the Platts gang on the wish list. Thank you very much. Apparently there's new things in the wish list. Software, apparently. Apparently, Vanessa has found out we spend an absolute fortune on software subscriptions, which is unfortunate because we need them. And Vanessa said, wouldn't it be nice if people wanted to chip in and help us with that? So there you are. So apparently that's on the... I don't keep an eye on the wish list anymore. That's Vanessa's job. She does all of that for me. So thank you very much in advance for your help over there. Those are the tangible asset sides of it. Here on the virtual tickets, that gets pumped into the channel in another way. In another way. Can you play B minor to E flat? B minor, E flat. Yes. Now, how would you want to try? Well, let's see. Let's see if we can. Let's be clever here. All right. Ralph asked a musical question. So B minor to E flat. Now, what's happening here is we are going pretty far away. B minor, obviously a minor key, relative minor to D major, and then E flat, relative major to C minor. Okay, so see where we're getting at already? Yeah, so B minor, C minor, semitone, D major to E flat, also a semitone. Right, so. What we need to do is find some common ground. It's like maths, you need to find a common denominator. So if we're in B minor, let me quickly... Okay, so B minor is a very dark key. It's a very sad key. Keys have moods, not modes, moods. D flat, for example, is just... It's the god of all keys, yeah? It is the god of all keys. Wagner chose it to be the home of the gods in the ring cycle, Valhalla. Why did he choose that? Because it's a godly key, it's wonderful. E flat is not quite as warm, but it's getting there. E flat is Abide With Me. E flat is not quite as delicious as D flat, but you get the idea. B minor, on the other hand, is cold. B minor is... It's icicles, it's little spiders crawling on icicles and things like that. It's cold, okay? It's very cold, okay? There's a banging door in the background. It's cold stuff. So we're going from a cold key to a warm key. Now, if I just do those together, there's B minor, and then E flat major. You can hear the you can feel the difference, yeah? You can feel the difference. So how would you modulate from one to the other sensibly? Well, we could sort of start waffling around the circle of fifths. How would we do that? Let's see. B minor, and we need to get to E flat. We need to go, we're going to have to go quite a long way to get this. We're going to have to do some enharmonic changes. Check this out. Okay, that was quite quickly done, all right? That was done rather quickly. So we had B minor, So we automatically, via G minor, made our way back to a D chord, the relative major. And then the same kind of movement. Okay, so my bass line, I'll show you my pedal here. B, B flat, A flat, and G. All right, that's the way we did it there. It's not really. And we're in E flat, just like that. Without trying to resolve. Well, you're going to have to be more clear about it than that. It's metal. Hey, what? Black metal. Well, that's something I know absolutely nothing about. Can you drive a Maris minor with a flat? No. Actually, you can. They don't weigh anything. Uwe! Uwe has just bought a ticket there. That's Uwe from Hungary. Thank you very much, Uwe in Hungary. Ta, thank you very much indeed. Anybody can move from B minor to E flat just by doing that. Anybody can do that. But if you can do it subtly, that's the way to do it. The master of subtle what's the word? Transposition. The master of subtle transposition. Anyone care to take a guess who it is? It's a very famous composer. Anyone care to take a guess who it would be? Take a guess. I'm afraid I don't understand what you're getting at, Ralph. I really don't understand. If you could try more than 2 words, I might sort of see what you're getting at. I thought you meant to transpose between the two. But, Rachmaninoff. That's one word. That's one word. God, I have no idea what that is. Ha ha! All right. Glass. What are we talking about now? I'm not sure I know that piece of music. Hold on, let me see if I've got it in my book of everything. I have one little book here, and it literally has every single jazz tune in it, but not everything. Let's have a look. Nope, it does not have that one, so we'll have to have a dig around to see if we can find that. Weird and wonderful, eh? However, Bridget came up with a non-hymn request, and I have this in here already. It's lovely. Hey, where is it? Hold on, why isn't it there? Should be in here. I played it not that long ago. There it is. Ah, okay, it doesn't have the full title. Okay. G major. G major. Bridget requested it, but Jez, is Jez here tonight? Jez, if you're watching, you will definitely know this one. Love grows where my rosemary goes. She ain't got no money, her clothes are kind of funny, her hair is kind of wild and free. Oh, but love grows where my rosemary goes, and nobody knows like me. It's a wonderful tune. One-hit wonders, are they one-hit wonders? Who knows the story of the band? Edison Lighthouse and all that lot. Who knows about them? This is wonderful. Dum da dum da dum dee dee dum 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 dee dee. Cha Cha Cha. Isn't that a grand piece of music? Did anyone get the history of it again? It's just a wonderful tune. Did you know, by the way, there's no chorus, there's no verse, it's just a tune. There you are. There's no chorus, there's no verse, it's just, that's it. Right, getting close to the end of this evening's frivolities. So we're going to leave Düren. Düren is a town. Is it a town or a city? It's a town between... actually, let's go with this one tonight. It's a town between Cologne and Aachen. That's Aix-la-Chapelle if you're in a sort of French-speaking mood. But on the west coast of Germany, on the Dutch border there, Aachen. Aachen Cathedral, one of the earliest cathedrals of them all. Charlemagne, remember him? He was based there. Anyway, Düren, yes, that's why we're talking about that. Wonderful part of the world. I haven't been there for a long time. Must go, must visit the organ. Right, theatre organ time, and tonight we are going to the Morton Theatre organ. We're not going to have the Wurlitzer. We'll do that on Sunday again, but tonight we're going to have this. This was requested, if I can find it. There it is, 1,000,000 pages. It's almost impossible to read. Oh gosh. But it should be good fun. To the world of Mr. Jelly Roll Morton, a crazy guy, claimed to have invented jazz. Moved from New Orleans, down in the South, moved up to Chicago, like a lot of people did, befriended Al Capone, like a lot of people did, and just made an awful lot of money in an awful lot of evil ways. He's a very naughty boy. He was a bit of a pool shark. Well, shall we say he employed ladies in certain professions to make money for him, if you know what I mean. Anyway, right, never mind. He was quite a character, apparently, but he composed wonderful tunes, and they're all kind of based along the old sort of march music. Once the Civil War was over down south, all these instruments were just lying around, as the old tales tell us, and the new free men picked these instruments up, learned to play them, and jazz was born, apparently. But because march music was still a very big thing in those days, Sousa and all that stuff, a lot of pieces at the beginning of the jazz era still had a sort of march form to them. In other words, they were in various different parts. And this is no exception. We'll dedicate this one actually to Julian GC, because he's from here. And it was Joe that requested this. This is the Shreveport Stomp by Jelly Roll Morton. And for this, we're going to need a piano. There's a piano. It's a Morton Theatre organ, ladies and gentlemen. Shreveport Stomp. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. Hello, there we are. That was the Shreveport Stomp. Yeah, the computer was playing up there. The CPU was going crazy. I don't know why, because this sample set takes up absolutely no CPU whatsoever. I suspect Windows is doing some updating crap in the background. Where are you? Ah, there you are. Yes. It's getting ready to do updates. I thought as much. I wish it wouldn't do that. I always switch off the updates, but then it switches them back on again. Stupid thing. Now, here's the thing. If we're going to be doing Jelly Roll Morton, we've just done Shreveport, which is way down in Louisiana. So what we now have to do is we have to do one of his Chicago tunes, don't we? So we might as well do my favorite one, the Wolverines. Or the Wolverine Blues. And yeah, everyone's talking about Chicago at the moment. There's a new perp and he's from Chicago. So yeah, I wonder, is he a Wolverines fan? Shall we find out? The Wolverine Blues. Let's change registrations for this. We don't want the piano. At least we don't want that. I actually have some registrations here on this organ called, you're not going to believe it. Can I show you this? Can you see this on the screen? Can you look up here in the corner? Look up there. It says Chicago Blues. I have some registrations called Chicago Blues. And these are those. The Wolverine Blues. Check it out. Chicago. A blank email. I like a blank email. Ralph, you sent me a blank email. Okie dokie. And there's some very bizarre requests for pieces of music I cannot find, but we'll work it out at some point. That was the Wolverines, or the Wolverine Blues, whatever you want to call it. It was called the Wolverines for a long time, and then it was called the Wolverine Blues, so maybe they lost. I don't know. One may never know. One may never know. Ladies and gentlemen, it's about to be midnight, so it's about time for me to turn into a pumpkin. Let's do something else with W to finish off this one. Let's do this. Let's do this. Actually, we might as well stick to this. Yeah, why not? Actually, no. Tell you what we'll do. I will move to the Wurlitzer organ for this one, because it's just got a more luscious sound. The Morton theatre organ is in your face. It's right up in your face. It just slaps you about a bit. It's so big and brash. Whereas the Wurlitzer here, this is a take on the Fox Wurlitzer. It's just got this sort of this lovely. This has got the more warm sound, man. The warm sound. Here's a piece of music. I'm going to dedicate this. I'm not going to dedicate it to anyone, actually. It's in remembrance of an old friend of mine who sadly no longer with us. He died 24 years ago now. He died an awfully long time ago. And this was one of his favourite tunes, believe it or not. He used to play it on the yug dugga 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 dug, on the little ukulele banjolele thing. He loved doing this kind of thing. And we used to mess around with this. He would play it on the banjolele and I would accompany him on the piano. And invariably, we were both very, very drunk. Back to 1919 for this one, I think. It's a wonderful piece of music. Yeah, rather nice. The world is waiting for the sunrise. The world is waiting for the bun fight, as we used to call it. The world is waiting for the sunrise. See you all on Sunday night, folks. Slightly more subdued on Sunday, but only slightly. Have a good weekend until then. Catch you later. And don't forget, somebody out there needs to get in touch with me, or there's going to be trouble.